Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular board meeting of March 19th. And before I bring the meeting to order, I would just like to say thank you to everyone in the community that came out Monday night in support of DD4 to listen to the facts about what's actually going on as far as a merger between the two school districts. So I just want to thank all of you for coming out, and those that came and asked questions and made statements, those were very good questions and very good statements, and I just wanted y'all to know that we really appreciate y'all doing that, and we're going to continue to fight the fight until it's over. So at this time, I will bring the meeting to order, and we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. First order of business tonight is approval of the agenda. And tonight our agenda includes approval of minutes from two board meetings, a February and March meeting, correspondence, public forum, special recognition, finance, facilities and operations, curriculum and instruction, and our superintendent will have his report, and then we will have a legislative update, and then the board will go into executive session. So at this time, I need a motion to approve our agenda.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to approve the agenda at this time.
All right, motion made by Ms. Evelyn Enfinger, seconded by Dr. Hodges. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand. Thank you. This boardroom is just beautiful. I have to say this. Now I don't have to keep leaning up to see who's raising a hand. I felt like I was in a rocking chair a lot of nights because I couldn't see. This is absolutely beautiful. Approval of minutes, February the 18th and March the 14th was a special called meeting. Board members, we can do them both or we can do them separate, whatever's your pleasure. Do them both? Both? Okay. So we need a motion to approve our minutes.
I second that.
All right, to Ms. Enfingers. Ms. Jenny Enfinger made the motion, seconded by Ms. Evelyn Enfinger. Are there any comments, questions? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand. It's unanimous. Thank you. Any correspondence, Ms. Smoke? Public forum? Thank you. Special recognitions. Is that Ms. April, or is that you, Mr. Beckwith?
That's us. Good evening, everybody out here. So we got on a really good system early on in the school year with recognizing our students for outstanding academic achievement, and we've kind of gotten off that track, so we want to get back on that track without a doubt. So we had our students who took their PSATs, and when students do extremely well in their PSATs, they get recognized as South Carolina Junior Scholar Award of Merit honorees, and that comes from the State Department, and it's a signature from Ellen Weaver. She's the one that recognizes these students, and so we got word of this, and we wanted to make sure we recognized those students tonight in front of y'all, because it's quite an accomplishment. So first person we have is Lainey Harbison. We have Kaylee Pinkney. We have John Donato. And we have Julian Cooler. How about a round of applause for these four?
Symmetrical.
Good job, students.
Families, you're welcome to stay the rest of the night, or you can leave.
Either is fine. Dorchester School District 4 is delighted to continue its Everyday Hero Employee Recognition Program, celebrating the exceptional individuals who play crucial roles in the success of our schools. These hardworking employees often operate behind the scenes, ensuring the smooth functioning of our schools while contributing to the education and well-being of our students. Monthly, we shine a spotlight on these dedicated staff members, offering our appreciation for their unwavering commitment. Each Everyday Hero receives a certificate of appreciation and a coin from the superintendent, a token of the district's deep gratitude for their remarkable service. The first recipient is Miss Johnny Whitlatch, a sixth grade science teacher at Woodland Middle School. Come on up, Miss Whitlatch. Teaching is more than a profession for Miss Whitlatch. It's a calling. With a passion for science and a love for her students, she brings energy, creativity, and a deep sense of care to her classroom every single day. She goes beyond teaching the curriculum, making science come alive for her students through hands-on experiments, engaging in discussions, and a nurturing environment that encourages curiosity and confidence. Her ability to connect with students on a personal level makes her classroom a place where learning is both fun and meaningful. This is what Principal Kennedy said about you. Johnny has been a phenomenal teacher since she came to DD4 a few years ago. Her lessons are always enjoyed by the students, and her classroom management is among the best I've ever seen. That is true. They do not play in your room. She is definitely a member of the Woodland Middle School family and truly understands how important family is at work and at home. Miss Whitlatch is an everyday hero at Woodland Middle School. Congratulations, Miss Whitlatch. D&G, please report to the front.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
The second recipient is Miss D'Angelo White, a dedicated bookkeeper at Woodland High School. Miss White's journey in DD4 has been one of service, growth, and unwavering commitment to excellence. She recently transitioned from the Department of Student Services to Woodland High School, where she has become an indispensable part of the team. Principal Michael White expressed his appreciation for Mrs. White's exceptional work, ethic, and dedication, stated, "She has been going above and beyond her call of duties. She has a great mindset and a great outlook on things. She has been a real asset to Woodland High School. Her ability to adapt and excel in her new role has not gone unnoticed, and her positive attitude has made a lasting impact on both the staff and students." Congratulations, Ms. White. The final recognition goes to Ms. Melanie Smith, a devoted food service technician at Woodland High School. Known for her hard work, warm personality, and unwavering commitment to the students and staff, Mrs. Smith exemplifies what it means to go above and beyond the service for others. Ms. Smith was nominated by Mr. Kevin Earl, who praised her exceptional dedication during the Student Special Olympics Unified Games event. He shared, "Today, we recognize an outstanding everyday hero, Melanie Smith, who gives her time and talent to cook for our district's Special Olympics Unified Games event." Melanie's dedication to supporting our students, athletes, and community went above and beyond as she brought her culinary skills and heart to an event that celebrates inclusion, teamwork, and determination. Did you bring anything for us today? It's okay if you didn't, just kidding. Congratulations, Miss Melanie Smith.
Mr. Earl, you come up. Mr. Earl. Mr. Earl's gonna come up. Oh, you're gonna keep getting us.
Okay. Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
Girls' house. Mr. Beckwith, you finished? All right, thank you. And congratulations again to Ms. Whitlash, Ms. White, and Ms. Smith, and thank you so much. And all of the students, too. We're very proud of each and every one of them. Next up, finance.
You guys had your budget report, your monthly for February, if you had any questions.
Any questions, board members, on your financial report?
Yeah, I have a couple. 161 autism totals. It seems like just wasn't budgeted correctly, or?
That's correct. We had several accounts like that, and we're addressing those in the amended
I've
budget.
kind of figured that.
Yep.
Same way with 263 information services total.
Yes, sir. That position was created after the budget was done, and so that salary was not budgeted as well. It's being addressed in the amended budget.
That's all I got.
That's all you got? Anybody else? Thank you for that.
And the next item we have is an action item, and it's actually our budget calendar. You should all have a copy of that. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hutto just informed us, there's one change on it from April the 9th. We're going to put it April the 10th at 10 a.m. This is what she's talking about, the calendar. Everyone? Okay. So we'll make that change
Yes,
to
ma'am.
April 10th,
At 10 o'clock, and it'll be at the district office.
okay? District office. So this is an action item. We need to vote on this tonight.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the finance report and the changes from April 9th to April 10th, 10 a.m. at the district office.
I Second that.
All right, Mr. Folk, motion by Mr. Folk to accept the meeting workshop calendar, and Ms. Evelyn Enfinger seconded. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand. Aye. Okay. Y'all put that on your refrigerators.
And then the next item on the agenda is the FY '25 amended budget.
Do now, do we need to vote on this amended budget
Yes,
tonight? We
ma'am.
do?
This is an
Okay,
action item.
all right.
Okay. Oh, there it goes. I got it. Oh, no, Mr. Lakin.
We do.
Madam Chair, I make a motion, we approve the amended budget.
I second that.
Okay. Motion has been made by Mr. Folk, seconded by Ms. Evelyn Enfinger. Any questions? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand. It is unanimous.
Okay,
Thank you. Great job on that, Ms. Hutto and your staff.
thank you.
Great job.
And the next item is the first reading of the fiscal year '26 budget. How do I get that to go? Where's Elijah?
This is the first reading, Ms. Hutto, and I assume the second reading's on the calendar?
That's that April 10th.
That's the
meeting.
April 10th
Yes,
will be the
ma'am.
second. I'll write that on mine. April 10th will be the second reading.
Tell him I need the
Okay.
'26 budget.
Okay.
I
All
need
right.
him to bring it up on the, huh? I need him to bring it up on the screen. Okay.
There it is. There it is.
So our state funding changes are, we're going with the House version right now. Of course, all this stuff changes. But the minimum teacher salary scale increase mandate is $1,500 per all cells, where the bachelor's minimum starting salary will be $48,500. And they are eliminating the bachelor's plus 18 on the scale. So we won't have that column on the scale anymore.
I get 1,000, all right?
So the following slide shows the fiscal year state minimum teacher salary schedule as recommended by Ways and Means Committee. The school districts are required to meet the state minimum salary schedule. The amount that school districts pay in excess of the minimum scale is included in the local salary supplement. So if we go to the next slide, it's kind of tiny, but y'all have a printout that you can read. So 0 years of experience with a bachelor's degree, according to the House Ways and Means Committee, would make $48,500 with 0 years. And then it just goes down to 28 years with that same degree would put them at 62.5. And then, of course, you got your doctorate degree, your master's degree, plus 30, and then your regular master's degree. And that's just a draft of the state minimum salary schedule. So the following slide shows two options. Conversations with Mr. Beckwith, he wanted to do 1,500 as required by the state, and then additional 1,500 from the district, and that would be considered local salary supplement, is what that would bring up. So if we look on the next slide, this is what that comparison looks like. So you have your 25 schedule as it is right now, and then option A of the salary scale is just a $1,500 increase mandated by the state. And then the option B is the $3,000 increase per cell. And the state has allowed the districts to decrease the local salary supplement now for a couple of years. They may not always do that, so right now, we don't have to pay the local salary supplement. But with this $1,500 additional to the state minimum, that would be where it would come from, is the local supplement. And right now, this next slide shows what our local salary supplement looks like according to the different education levels and the different steps. And this is option A and option B of what it would look like with that $1,500 and the $3,000. And then the revenue projections in this presentation are based, like I said, on the House Ways and Means Committee. Local property and local FELO projections have been received from the county auditor and included in the presentation, the following slides. A detailed list of the revenue accounts with projections are on the next slide. So the 26 budget request, those are our local tax revenue and our state revenue as it is right now. Of course, all this could change with the state. So right now, it looks like our budget request for 26 is $37,530,164,000. That's an increase of 1.4 million from current year 25. So on the next slide, you'll see the revenue update where we're getting local revenue at $17,774,417. And then the intergovernmental is $3,000. The state revenue is $17,785,935,000. And then the transfers, and that's just from the special revenues accounts. And that's an increase of the 1.4 million. And then the next slide just is a graph breaking it down to what the local and the state looks like on a pie chart. And this next slide is the expenditure summary by object type. So like in all the other years, most of our expenses is in salary and fringe. You've got your purchase services at 6.3 million, your supplies at 1.9 million, capital at 16,000, dues and fees at 274,000, and transfers at 55,000. You have your option A and B. If you go with A, it's an increase of $194,200, and if you go with option B, it's $777,847. And then this breaks it down by option A and option B with your salary and fringe. So the total with option B would be $38,543,515, and then option A would be $37,959,868. And then this breaks it down as a summary. If we go with option A, we're at a deficit of $429,704, and if we go with option B, we're at a deficit of $1,013,000. And this is the first draft, so it's a working document. This is our millage rate. Right now, our operating is at 205, and the value of a mill is $65,329. And then this is our fund balance. We did dip into it a little bit with the amended budget, but that was the intent. So right now, as of June 30th, our fund balance was $6,878,508. And 20.95% of FY '24 expenditures. The GFO recommends 16.7%, 2 months' worth of expenditures, and the state requires 8.33%. So that totals out to be 2.51 months of what our fund balance is currently. And that's our calendar.
I never understood the 1 month. I never understood 1 month, because
Oh, I know.
if you really had a tragedy and you had to bring in mobile trailers, there would never be enough money to do that.
Oh, no, not at all. Not with just 1 month. So that's our first draft of our '26 budget, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, board members?
What is our percentage of our salaries of our budget? Do you know?
It's on that pie draft. Maybe it's not. Let's see, the percentage of, let me find it.
Okay.
Oh, that's just the revenue. I don't have the exact percentage, but it's probably like 80%.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
So we'll have this second draft of that on April 10th, and so any recommendations that y'all have, you can get them to Mr. Beckwith, and he and I work together to put it together.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much, Ms.
You're
Hutto.
welcome. Thank you.
Ms. Hughes, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
So they've done an excellent job working on that, but I just want to make everybody aware that a lot of these numbers, especially salary numbers, are, some of those things are dependent on what happens in legislation. Some of that salary stuff and the governors and the state's budgets have gone through the House, but they're going through the Senate right now. So we're monitoring it. They're trying to push a $1,500 increase for teachers, which should happen. We feel confident with that. There's money tied to that, so we could potentially get money for that. It won't be all the money. It's never all the money. So there'll be some money that's offset that. And then just in good faith to our people who do the work in this district, we feel obligated to try to close some of those gaps that we have with our neighboring districts and provide some additional funding there. But I just want to make sure everybody's aware we're still monitoring what's going on at the state level as we go through this. So hopefully we have a little bit more information as we get into April.
Next up is Facilities and Operations, Mr. Martin. And while you're walking up, Mr. Martin, I just want to thank you for all your hard work and vision. This room is absolutely beautiful and just makes our district look so good, and we're very proud, and thank you for you and your staff and whoever else was involved in this, because it's been a long time coming.
It has, a professional space has been long overdue, and there's a before picture of the outside. And it's great to have a good foundation. Like, this is a really nice building. So we saw the vision of, what we can make it. We want to reutilize everything we can and repurpose space. So it looks even better with a board sitting up there. So thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Well, let me just say this to you, Mr. Turner, Thompson Turner. We were at a conference, and he came up to me, and I told him I haven't seen it yet. We wanted it to be a surprise, but he said that y'all had done such a good job of what you did here that he was asking permission to use what y'all did here to talk to other schools that had an empty building, that they possibly might want to do something like this. So that was quite a compliment.
That was, and
Yep.
Thompson Turner came up today, a couple of the project managers, they hadn't seen the outside because that's a project we did. And Miss Lorraine, and my operations assistant, she handpicked, and she's got a green thumb, so she did everything on the outside. and had the contractors install it. And the branding was literally done today on the top up there. So it really set the outside, made it very welcoming. So, yeah, I'm glad it turned out nice and hope everybody enjoys it. But yeah, this space, we don't have a meeting space in the district besides schools. So this is a multi-purpose room. So like the chairs on casters, they'll flip around. We've got meeting tables to utilize all these boards. We've got the other meeting spaces here. So it's just not a boardroom, it's a multi-purpose room that we don't have to intrude on a school space at any given time. So it's a nice meeting area. So I just want to give you a couple updates. One I'm most proud of right now is the playground projects that are underway. And we haven't had our official openings, but the schools have opened a playground at every school. And so Williams has a new playground, and I was out there when the kids ran out and utilized it. The staff really like it. The kids, a couple students come up to me and said, "Did you do the playground?" I said, "Well, part of it." I got the 2 thumbs up, so that was a good sign. Harleyville opened up their front playground, and Clay Hill, we got theirs open, and the other ones are in progress. So in the coming weeks, we'll be finished with every playground. We're waiting on the turf installation now. So excited about that. The South Carolina School Board Insurance Trust recently did 2 walkthroughs of our schools, and in April, the 3rd week of April, they'll come back because they come back and look at the schools that they audited the previous year to make sure that all the corrections and everything were made. I just want to share with you a statement at the bottom that a letter we received said, "You have succeeded in many attempts to create a safe working environment, and it's refreshing to see your commitment to preventing injuries and liability." They see how proactive we've been over the last few years, and that's a testament to the principals and staff taking the knowledge and education we pass on to make these safe environments. So that's just not us. That's, the staff and team all together doing that. The operations department, we were working on our Dominion Energy rebate project, which is this room in the admin building. And I see we have a special guest, the district electrician, James Lowry. I just want to say something about him. Every light fixture you see in here, he put in with his hands. He wired every fixture in the admin, and I think the total was 147 fixtures.
Wow.
And we'll be getting a rebate on all of that, on that project. We have the completion submitted, but the receptacles you see in your desk that you could plug into, he wired those, every device in here. We don't have district electricians. We have a electrician, and that's Mr. James Lowry. He's been a great asset to our team. The technology department, we have more access controls going in. Harleyville, did y'all go online yet? Or you're online now? So Harleyville's access controls online. The Department of Exceptional Children located on the Harleyville campus, their access controls online. So now they can go and badge in and don't have to worry about keys at their entrances right now. So that's another win. Food and Nutrition, the Office of Health and Nutrition Services conducted administrative reviews of the program in January, and I reported on that previously. And the official summary was received on February 19th. The correction action plan will be completed by Mr. Kevin Earl, submitted to the State Office of Nutrition's portal used for our compliance and reporting. So he's working on that. And one more thing I'd like to talk about is transportation. Director Johnson, it's been a pleasure to work with. We talk, almost every day working together, and he's a great communicator, and we're working on several projects, but one thing we're doing actually on this campus is the area out front of the gym, the parking lot. Director Johnson reached out to the state, and we're gonna make that into a bus testing pad. So he'll be able to conduct tests there, and I think we also collaborate with the state, so they'll be able to use it, correct? So that way, they're gonna paint it and do the work at no cost to us if we let them use it. So it's a joint thing, and any time we collaborate with the state is good. So, and that should be done over spring break. That's another spring break project. We have a lot of projects going on over spring break. Another big one is the Woodland High School gym bleachers inside. That'll be demoed and installed over spring break in a couple days into the week when we come back. And several other projects going on as well. And I updated the list of ongoing stuff, but got a lot of irons in the fire. Any questions?
I'd like for you to introduce Mr. Johnson to us.
Director Johnson, right there.
Well, I want to see him for myself because I've not heard nothing but good
There he is,
things.
yes.
Nice to meet you, Mr.
Pleasure to work
Johnson.
with.
Thank you.
Looking forward to more projects together.
When you do the front of the building here, like you said, for the buses, does that mean that we're going to be able to train people here and not have to send them away?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's going to save a lot
So
of
the
time.
bus, it'll streamline the
Oh,
process.
yes.
And he's a certified trainer. We're looking at onboarding potentially more trainers, but doing it right here. And we're also, that's not only our wrestling area, but it's another service that this campus is doing.
Yeah.
So we're utilizing as much of this space as we can, and that will streamline that process.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you,
Any
Mr.
questions?
Johnson. Any questions, board members?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you. Next up is curriculum and instruction. Hey, that is not Ms. Corey.
No, it's not Corey. I'm Tricia DeLeese. I'm the elementary coordinator. Corey isn't here with us this evening. Curriculum and instruction is undergoing math instructional materials adoption. The instructional materials are state-funded. The list of K-12 math curriculum titles are included in your packet. Each school reviewed the materials and submitted their vote. This is an action item. We are asking the board to vote and approve our school's selection of math materials.
Okay, board members, in your packet, you have the math instructional materials listed, all the way from grade K-5 math through AP calculus. So this is an action item that we need to make a motion to approve.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to approve the school's approval of the agenda.
Okay. All right, a motion has been made by Ms. Evelyn Enfinger, seconded by Ms. Jenny Enfinger, to accept the 2025 math instructional material adoption, state funded. Thank you, Ms. Patricia. Mr. Beckwith, you're up.
All right, so we have policies, first reading, section K, which gets into your school, community, home relations section of our board policy manual. This is a first reading, and so we ask that you all go through this and bring any questions that you may have to me or to Ms. Hughes, and she can relay that to me. This is just our continued focus on getting up to date on all of our stuff. We'll start tackling personnel after this, but for now, our big focus is on this one. Any questions about that?
Any questions, board members? This is our first reading, so please, if you have any comments, questions, or you see anything that needs to be changed, please let me know, and I'll get with Mr. Beckwith. Mr. Beckwith, there was only one that I wanted to mention up front was KF, and it goes into KFA, open community use of school recreational areas. It's very entailed, but I know that y'all work really, really hard on the use of the facilities, and I just want to make sure this is what y'all want, because this one may change something that y'all had already put in. So just look over it real good, and we'll approve the one that y'all feel comfortable to accept with the school district.
We certainly will. That's something we have conversations about pretty often, is the usage of our buildings. They've always been a nice space for people in the community to use. So it's just making sure we're doing it in a responsible way and an effective way. So we'll review that again and make sure it adheres to what we're looking for here in the district. Any other questions?
No, sir, I think that was all about the policies.
All right. So we have 2 field trips. Both are out of state. One of them is overnight. The first one, we'll just do the band. Mr. Atterbury is the sponsor of this one for Woodland High School. They are taking approximately 90 students to Carowinds for the day. We know that Carowinds, you're crossing over the border briefly to get there, so we have to get approval from the board to do that.
All right, board members, each one, it is an action item that we need to vote on. So there's several, so let's go, or actually it's 2. But we'll go ahead and look at this one. And do y'all have any questions about it? If everything looks good to me, we'll make a motion to approve it. Need a motion? Mm-hmm, going to Carolyn's.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion to approve the Carowinds field trip.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Ms. Evelyn Enfinger, seconded by Mr. Tony Folk to go to, for Woodland High School Band to go on April the 16th to the Carowinds. Any more questions? All in favor, please raise your right hand or say aye. It is approved.
Thank you very much. And then the second one is our National Leadership Conference. We generally send a student or 2 to this. This year it's in Anaheim, California. We have 2 students going, and we will have 2 chaperones going with them. As always, we love giving our students the opportunity to go and do this work and represent Woodland High School at the state and then especially at the national level. So we would need your approval to send these students there from June 28th to July 3rd in Anaheim, California.
All right, this is for Woodland High School, June 28th through July 3rd. It's the FBLA from Woodland High School going to Anaheim Convention Center in Anaheim, California.
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Motion made by Ms. Evelyn Enfinger, seconded by Dr. Hodges. Are there any questions? All in favor, please say aye or raise your right hand. That is approved.
Thank you. And then the last piece of information, and it's just information, and we can follow up at our special call meeting in April to just finalize any changes, but we did use a day. It was not an e-learning day when we had that chance for severe weather a couple of weeks ago, and everybody's kind of scattering to try to figure out how to cover that day because everybody has exhausted their e-learning days. So we're just looking at the calendar and trying to figure out the best fit for how to make that work and how to get it into our calendar. We're having conversations with the State Department now of how we can do that without it being as too disruptive to our teachers and staff and our families. So we'll have a update with you and probably look at having something finalized for a vote at that April 10th meeting, special called meeting.
All right.
And that's it for me.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Beckwith. And at this time, Ms. Enfinger, do you have anything to update us on the legislative?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay, there's a few bills that are going in the House and the Senate, and I'll give you the bill number, and then I'll give you a little information on it. The changes to the Education Assistance Act, H 3196, is going in the full committee for consideration. And also, bill number 3778 is going into, for the Hurricane Helene, if the school missed more than 3 days, they're considering waiving that. The House Bill 3201 is on the computer science, increased access to computer science education. This is in the House. Number 3258, integrate emergency response system. Number 3264, critical thinking pilot. Number 3578, the cursive writing is going back into progress. Number 3831, Smart Heart Action Emergency Response. 3863, the STEM Opportunity Act. Number 3974, prohibits school districts from denying private mental health. And in the Senate, number Bill 269, allow public school districts with more than 15,000 students to employ security personnel. Number 416, changes to the existing laws, student expulsions and suspension. And that's about it for right now.
Thank you, Ms. Evelyn. All right, at this time, this is the end of our business meeting at this time, and at this time, we will go into executive session to hear student hearings, personnel matters, and legal matters. So at this time, I do need a motion to go into executive session. Dr. Hodges?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Foe. All in favor? All right, we are now in executive session. Thank you all again for coming, and we will be back shortly. Y'all can turn off your microphones.
Y'all can stay here if you want, if you're gonna stay until the very end. Mr. Wolfgang, I know you don't wanna leave.
Mine won't.